Okay, if this not working now, I don't really know what to say. So I said bashy. Yeah, I am ready to tell my story today. It's great. Alright, it's straight. Growing up in Haiti, it was very tough. I feel like my parents did the best that they could with what they had, and of course, my dad, he was the principal of the oldest high school in Haiti, and my mom, she was also in education, and so education was very big for us. But ultimately, in the settings that the country was in, it wasn't the best, and insecurity, also poverty, and just all the things that you could think of when you think of Haiti as far as a third world country. There's a lot of shootouts that I've been in. I've been also in the biggest earthquake that you could possibly think of. The magnitude, I think, was seven and up. I can't remember the exact number. I was a victim, well, almost of a kidnapping. Also my dad, and there's a lot of things that have happened in my childhood in Haiti that kind of led me into coming here in the States. But growing up in Haiti, honestly, I can say, like, because I was a child, I was still enjoying it, and there was a lot of things that I loved about my childhood, like going to the beach with my family, because the beach wasn't so far. So going to the beach was something that I like. The schools that I was in, it was all boys school, but they were very challenging, but ultimately I feel like I had a lot of good friends being there, and just being surrounded by a family, genuine family. So I think during my childhood, my parents did a good job of raising us around family and around good people, but ultimately I feel like it still was a struggle when it came to providing for the family and making sure that we were secure.
How did the 2010 earthquake impact your life and your family?
Man, the 2010 earthquake really struck us. Honestly, it brought us all the way to the bottom, because our family, I mean, not just our family, the whole country was wiped out. A lot of people died, and pretty much everybody was sleeping in the streets. And we had to wait on military. I think the U.S. military came and gave us food and gave us tents to stay in. But we were pretty much sleeping on dirt for months. And that was something that was so tragic. I remember it vividly because I was coming home from school. My dad had just picked me up, and we were on our way to actually pick up my mom from work. And we were down the street from her job, and that's when I felt the earth literally shaking. And I didn't even know what it was. All I saw was my dad put his hands up, and he was screaming Jesus. So I'm like, huh? Like, why is it screaming Jesus? So I look around, and all I saw was buildings falling down. I saw electric poles falling down, and I just saw, like, literally, like, it felt like the world was ending. That's how it felt. And I remember there was one lady, she came out of a building, and she was literally covered in white powder. And she was like, somebody come please help me. Like, my kids and my husband are inside. Like, please help me. And that literally hit me. That's when I knew it was real. And I didn't even know it was an earthquake because I didn't even know what that was. But ultimately, I knew people were dying and people needed help. And so I saw another car that was in front of us went off the road. And I'm like, okay, like, this is crazy. And so immediately I'm screaming Jesus too, because at that point, you just don't know. And so I'm literally looking at my dad and I'm screaming Jesus. And then at that point, it hit me that my mom is down the street and her building has stories. And I'm like, okay, now I'm worried about her. And so we drove to her building, and thankfully I saw her outside, and she was fine. And so I thank God for that. All the power lines were off. So at that moment, we realized that we couldn't check on our family. And now we're panicking, trying to figure out if my little sister's okay, if my grandma's okay, and if my cousins that live with us are okay. And so we got in the car, and my dad started speeding down, trying to, get home. And all we're noticing is that it's just literally chaos everywhere. And the buildings, all the houses, everything literally is on the ground. And it's people running around with blood all over them. I saw dead bodies on the street, and I'm just literally like I don't understand what's going on. I was literally asking my dad, do I still have to do homework? Because I wanted to get out of it. And so he literally looked at me, and he didn't say a word, because I think everything was hitting him and he didn't even know what to tell me. All that to say is that earthquake literally killed so many people, and it literally brought us all, everybody on the street. And even if you had a house that didn't fall down, you still had to sleep on the street because you couldn't trust your house. And so, like I told y'all, we didn't have no food for, I think, days. Yeah, the earthquake definitely impacted my life. That was the biggest tragedy I've ever been in. After the earthquake, honestly, everything in the country changed. Everything in our family changed, because we had to adapt to new method of figuring it out, if you call it like that, because like I said, everybody was scared of being under a building that was made with concrete or anything that could kill you. So they had to rebuild most of the schools and clear off the roads, and also just trying to take out, because it wasn't a lot of resources that were able to clean the country. And so still was a lot of dead bodies and stuff laying around months later. And so it was a lot of rebuilding that was going on. So emotionally, it was very draining, just because it was what is life gonna look like now?
Okay, so you mentioned getting kidnapped. What was the story of, or a potential kidnapping? What was the story behind that?
So the earthquake happened in 2010, and only about a year and a half later, or 2 years, I almost got kidnapped out of my elementary school. I was getting out of school, and my dad had somebody come get me from school. And on my way out of the school, there's usually a guard right in front of the door. And so as I'm getting out and I'm about to get in the car, I'm walking to the car, and somebody came and grabbed me. And as he was literally about to run off with me, the guard came and grabbed me back, and literally that's pretty much what saved me and not getting kidnapped. And honestly, that was one of the scariest moments, because I didn't even know who grabbed me. I don't know where he was gonna go with me. And so after that moment, I was honestly pretty scared, and I didn't want to be away from my family. And that was one of the most emotionally tragic. It gave me a lot of anxiety, honestly. And after that, my parents were really okay, we need to get him out of the country, or get him into better hands, or around in a better environment, honestly. So at the age of 14, everything changed. I came to the U.S. with my family as well. It was supposed to be a vacation, and as I was over here, they started doing all the transfers, getting me into school, and then they told me, yeah, you're staying. So for the next 8 years, it was just me without my parents. I had to learn English on my own. I had to basically navigate this world without having the guidance that I had back in Haiti. God definitely helped me write this story. And if you want to hear more, tune into the next episode of the Nick Matherin Diary series.